I'm going to go ahead and get started with opening up my product. We're going to use just a slice of stars and constellations for this tutorial video, but it's going to be the same for every Nearpod lesson that you find in my store. So we're going to scroll down to the page that says how to use this product. On that page, you're going to find 3 buttons. The first button is to watch the YouTube tutorial, that's this one. The second one is to create a Nearpod account. That is if you don't already have a Nearpod account. And if you are a teacher, it is free to use. The third button is to click to access the Nearpod. So we're going to go ahead and click that button. So just to double check, you want to make sure that the thumbnail matches. You want to make sure that the title is the same, and underneath you're going to see 2 buttons. The first one says add to my library and the second one just says no thanks. But we're going to go ahead and click on the add to my library button so then we can have a copy of it. You'll see in my library I have 2. The first one is the original, the second is the copy that we just made. So when I hover over that thumbnail, you're going to see a couple different buttons. The first one is the teach button. This is what you're going to use whenever you are ready to use it with students. So when you click on that teach button, there's going to be 2 options that pop up. The first one is the live participation and the second is student pace. Whenever I'm teaching, usually I like to do the live pace. That way I can monitor my students and make sure that everyone is following along and good to go. There's also the edit and preview button, but for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to go into the edit part. That way you can see all of the different slides and some of the interactive parts that can be found in a Nearpod lesson. So the Google Slides is already embedded into the Nearpod, so then you don't have to worry about doing that part yourself. The title slide is already there, but right away to start with the engagement piece, there's going to be a Nearpod 3D simulation. In this lesson, students are going to be able to look at the Milky Way galaxy and the surrounding universe. So they can click and then drag to go around and just kind of look at the surroundings to get an idea of what the lesson is going to be about. You'll find the Google Slides afterwards. After vocabulary, I like to do a matching quiz. So in this activity, I have the vocabulary word and then I also have a picture where students are going to be matching them. Once we get into the explore part of the lesson, I like to really use the field trips that are found. So in this lesson, students are going to the Saharan desert and they are able to look up into the sky. This can be also used in a VR headset, but you don't have to have one in order to use the field trip setting. Also, part of the explore part, I like to do crafts. Now, this craft has where students are creating a constellation, but in Nearpod, I can turn this into a digitized version. So I did this by inputting a Draw It section. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that to show you what that looks like. The background is already a starry background, but students can click on the crayon down at the bottom, and I'm going to use the light gray. So when I click on that, then I'm going to be able to draw on the slide, and I can use some of the other tools down at the bottom. I can draw a star and then draw a line to connect them. At the end of my lessons, I love to use the time to climb feature. It's a really engaging way to check for understanding. It's a gamified version of a quiz. So students in this lesson are going to have 5 questions to answer, and as they answer, they're going to have their avatar that they choose climb up a mountain. As students are answering questions, the game is going to be looking for those that are answering them correctly and quickly. Those that answer quickly are going to rank higher, and those that answer correctly are going to also rank higher. So in order for your students to climb up the mountain and win the game, they need to answer quickly and correctly. I hope this video tutorial has helped you with accessing your lesson on Nearpod. Go ahead and leave a comment down below to let me know what else you think that you need to learn more about Nearpod.